Hey, have you missed me? So, oh, let me turn off the car because it's making noise. I got my notification email yesterday that my TLC inspection for my own vehicle has been scheduled for next Tuesday. So, fingers crossed, my vehicle passes and I can get out from under this very expensive leased TLC vehicle. And my TLC vehicle from here on out will be my own, which would be lovely. I haven't been on much because I have to say that paying for this lease has been extremely difficult. And one way that I have done it is I roped in a couple of my friends to drive for Uber, and they decided not to drive in the city, so they didn't put out all of the expense and time that one has to put out to do that, to drive in the city, because driving in Connecticut or New Jersey is a much faster, easier, cheaper process. And they were desperate to get on the road and make some money. But my understanding was that at their first 50 rides for the Connecticut and New Jersey deal, I would get a $500 bonus, which would cover this lease for the week. And they would also get a $500 bonus. Well, I misunderstood completely. And, you know, this is what other drivers told me at the hub, and everything else that the other drivers have told me in the hub were very helpful to one another. It's a really kind of communal, kind of help each other out kind of atmosphere at the hub when you're sitting around waiting to talk to one of the Uber experts, which, you know, you do every once in a while if you get confused about something or have a question about something or want to make sure that you get your promotion pay and stuff like that. This is the first time I've been totally betrayed by what I heard at the hub. The new driver doesn't get the bonus in Connecticut and New Jersey. They don't get a sign-on bonus at all. So one of my friends took it on the chin. He was like, whatever, you know, and just got back in his car and kept driving. The other friend got really upset. I'm not sure our friendship is going to survive, to be quite honest, because, you know, there are incentives later that come to a Connecticut and New Jersey driver. I'm not saying there's no incentives at all. There's just not this immediate first week, 50 rides, $500 bonus. Other incentives come a little further down the road as the driver drives more consistently. Because I went to the Uber hub and I was like, what the heck? I just misled my friends. And they were like, look, calm down. They're still going to get extra money for being good drivers. It's just going to come a little bit later, and it will be in a smaller increment than $500 all at once. Well, my friend who was very upset wanted me to split the bonus that I got with her. Man, if I were making a bunch of money doing this, if I had not, even scratch that, if I had started doing this when I wanted to start doing this, instead of waiting and hemming and hawing and not being sure, I wouldn't be as far behind in my finances as I am. But I'm so far behind that things are taken out of my account automatically. I can't get access to most of my own money right now, because if I did, they would cut off my lights, they would cut off my health insurance. I mean, I'm just beginning to catch up thanks to Uber and thanks to being my own boss. But, you know, I hesitated a couple of times in this business, and I shouldn't have. And my first week, I completely misunderstood one of my own incentives and lost lost $500 because I didn't understand when the peak hours were for that 25 rides below 110th Street thing. So, yeah. So that was a rough day yesterday. I also got a parking ticket while I was at the Uber hub because I was so upset that I misread the arrows in which direction you could park and which direction you couldn't park. So it come out and there's a cop writing me a ticket. I took a picture of him while he was writing me the ticket, from inside the car. So I'm hoping I can get off for that. So anyway, yeah, I've made some rookie mistakes, and that has slowed my earnings. But also, one of the things that I've really thought about quite hard is that I got my TLC license on the last day of the year. My temp assignment ended on the last day of the year, and I had a choice. I could make some money or I could make no money, and I decided to lease this car and make some money. Some is better than none. And I'm almost through the process. 6 weeks later, it's been 6 weeks of getting my own vehicle registered. Now, I wouldn't have been making any money at all if I hadn't decided to dump some money into making some money. But every business is like that, right? So anyway, a couple of cute stories. Just 2 nights ago, I picked up a guy who got into the back seat with 2 hefty bags. And I said, "How's it going?" And he said, "Rough." And he burst into tears. And I said, "Oh, what happened?" And he said, "I just broke up with my girlfriend." And I said, "Oh, Bobby." And he said, I broke up with her. Like, I just feel bad for breaking her heart, and she loves me so much, but like, I just don't feel it. And like, I'm really great, and she really just doesn't have her shit together. And so I feel bad, but oh my God. So I drove him to his destination, which was like on the other side of town. And he was, trying to be the tough guy, but he was really kind of broken. And so we pull up in front of his apartment building, which was very nice, doorman building. And he said, "Can we just sit here for a minute? I got to stop crying. I don't want the doorman to see me crying." And I said, sure, let's just sit for a minute. And I said, I was 35 before I found my husband, right? And he's like, "So you found happiness?" I said, "Of course I did. Of course I did. Listen, that guy drives me crazy, but I love him to bits. Like, I have so much love in my life, And he's like, "Thank you for telling me that." And then he reaches into his wallet and he says, "You called me Bubby." And he gives me $10. And he says, "Thank you so much." And I said, "You're welcome." And he gets up and he gets out of the car. And you know what? He was a really cute guy. So ladies, I'm telling you, he looked like maybe he was in his late 20s. There's this really cute guy out there who lives on the Upper West Side who is looking for the real thing. So, let's see, what else? That was really my best story this week. And I'm working as an actor today. Woohoo! And then I'm working as an Uber driver after that. So life is good. I hope my long-term friendship is going to survive. But other than that, my life is really good as an Uber driver. I highly recommend it. So the other thing I want you to learn from this is if you're thinking about doing this, jump in now. And if you really want to make the serious bank, jump into the city. Really, just make that sacrifice, because I'm now getting incentives that are specially designed to people with high ratings like me. And those incentives are pretty good. And when I was at the Uber Hub yesterday, the Uber expert I was talking to looked at my profile and she said, "I'm looking at your profile right now and you are impressive. Like, you're doing a great job." Great. I'm having fun. I have my freedom back. Oh, I picked up a neurologist last week, a pediatric neurologist. And I was telling him that the week I started working for Uber and stopped working for that financial firm, I got my brain back, like I could set things down in my house and 5 minutes later I could remember where they were. And I'm in my 40s. And I said, I was fixing to go see one of you guys, a neurologist, because I was worried my short-term memory was leaving me too quickly. And he said, I get that all the time. He said, stress can affect the inner workings of your brain. And he said, it's a good thing you did what you did. And he said, you probably don't need to see a neurologist now. And he's like, I can't tell you, I can't diagnose you from the backseat of your car. But he said that's very, very common. So, yeah, good stuff. Drove somebody who was a former State Department worker a couple of weeks ago. He had a lot to say about this current administration. He consults for the NYPD now. Very, very cool guy. Told me to really be sure to watch the 13th, which I need to do. All right, darlings. I love you all. Working as an actor today and then working as an Uber driver. Woohoo! Living the dream. All right. Love you all. Mwah.